Alright, took a bit longer than I meant to, but I'm here. And we are ready to hang out. Hope you all had a good day. Hope you're ready to have a good evening. Don't mind me as I have hiccups still. That's fine. We are midway through on Soul Guard. I think I forgot to mark it here, but we did Dire Channel, unless I'm crazy. Because that's where we should have left off yesterday. Yeah, we got very far with Prince and then lost right at the end. And then we did one run with Soul Guard. Still got to do Cold Channel. Still got to do Titan Channel. Now, I'm not too worried about Titan Channel. For the most part. Cold Channel is way more contingent upon what we're offered. So for Cold Channel, what do we want? Herzl's Horde is okay. Aquath's is fine. Might even take Winged Spirit, even though I hate it. I don't know. I guess we'll try Winged Spirit. It's just that, like, the one time I took Winged Spirit on one of these challenges so far, we ended up not needing it in the slightest. We used it, like, once during the entire run, and then we're frustrated. And of course, the one unit that we start with is the one unit we had already used, which is fine, but it is just annoying that that's how it works sometimes. Alright, so what's on offer? Okay. So we can choose either of the ones that we haven't done. We're going to take Cold Channel, because that is what we're trying to do here. Alright. So I don't want Impsicle for a variety of reasons. Also, I haven't really evaluated what else I have here. The Hornbreak is fine. I would rather have had Hornbreak for Titan Channel, probably, but we'll see. And then Kinstone Totem is cool, except that we can't take Offering Token. I'm pretty sure, at least. Pretty sure we used that last time. Hey, thanks for resubscribing, Fury. I really do appreciate it. And yeah, we did use Offering Token. I mean, there are other discard cards, and, like, we do have Foregone Powers, and so, like, it's not worthless. It's just that the ideal card for it is denied to us. But we'll see what we can do. Okay, so for the time being, we're still using the Alpha Fiend, because that's just how it works. Soul Guard is going to go in front, although maybe I shouldn't. I mean, so, like, we do have Winged Spirit. So, like, we can at least, like, heal him up. Random discards. I mean, the random discards aren't that big a deal. People make more of a problem out of them than needs be. He's real low on health, but hopefully we can just heal him up for the boss. I mean, that's why we took Winged Spirit, basically. Because yeah, you can take one more hit before we have to heal. Unfortunately, I can't really do anything with my spells because I don't really want to shoot Soul Guard. I mean, it's not the end of the world if I do, but... Nope. Didn't hit the right one, and we take a little bit of pyre damage. So be it. That's fine. I was largely expecting this, and again, I don't really mind taking a bit of damage early game. Like, that's not a huge deal. Even on these bad starts, I tend to come out in pretty decent shape. Okay, and we are not going to forget to heal. He does take a little bit of damage, and Astriel still does a fair bit of damage here. But also, he's what we in the biz call a chum. And there we go. He very quickly builds up a bunch of Frostbite, and then he just kind of dies. Also, the Alpha Fiend is pretty solid early game. Okay, so I'm pretty sure we did not use Crypt Builder yet. We did not. So the problem is thus. I would kind of like to save that for another... I would kind of like to save that for the third run. B, with Cold Channel, ideally I'm not killing enemies before they attack, so I get the maximum number of, like, Frostbite, Revenge procs, and all that. It's maybe not totally necessary, because enemies will be hitting us for a lot of damage. But also just in general, it would be best if I can just focus on armor buildup. I do kind of want it, though, because it does work with, like, Kinstone, and it does work with Foregone Powers and all that jazz. But we are going to skip it, I guess. And then we already used Fortified Pauldrons, sadly. Okay. So, we want Hidden Passage on one of these runs. It's just a matter of whether we want it now or later. And I think maybe I take it now. I mean, I'll take it now and maybe we'll just get rid of it later. But we'll take it speculatively at least. Unfortunately, as much as I do like Fortified Pauldrons, it is a shame for our particular needs right now that the spell that it was, Fortify, is no longer a thing. Because I would happily just take a spell that gives armor right now. And unfortunately, there's a lot less of that in Hellhorn than I want there to be right now. Okay, so we're hoping this is Steelworker, by the way. That's not Steelworker. I guess we'll do that. Okay. This is maybe wrong, but we're going to do Intrinsic on that. And Cry? I don't know. Here we are. Okay. Fair enough. So I guess we're gonna do this and just set up like that. No, I was hoping he was gonna get rid of the other one, but that's fine. We'll at least play him out, and so he doesn't clog up the deck later. I'm gonna do this, even though it does mean that I'm, like, not killing those guys down there. And that is a problem, but I also need to be building up shards for Soulguard. I mean, it's a little less of a problem, since we do have, like, the Alpha Fiend right now as well, which does build up a fair bit of power. But nonetheless, I still do want Soulguard to perform. Unfortunately, the enemies now, if I don't start shooting them to death, are going to do a lot of damage. Point in case, really not how I wanted this to go. But, again, this is why we took Winged Spirit. Okay, well, I have to use this now, unfortunately, but fine. And I don't have tons of shards on him. It ends up not mattering at the moment because we still have enough to get the kill. And even like a small-ish amount of Frostbite at this stage goes a long way. Okay, so I can't take the Offering Token, and then we're back to Crypt Builder and Titan's Gratitude. Honestly, maybe I want to take Titan's Gratitude for the time being. I don't really want to do it, though. But I probably should. Again, I would love to take the Fortified Pauldrons. Although, in actual fact, I wish that it were just Fortify right now. But we're going to skip that. I kind of want to take the Hornbreak. I guess I'll take another Hornbreak, even though it comes with the Calcified Ember. I probably shouldn't. I mean, I'm gonna go here, maybe. Yeah. So, like, Exile's Diadem is maybe a thing, but I don't really need it when I've already got the Hidden Passage. I could, at the moment, use Steward's Quarters just to play out, like, multiple Shield Stewards and have them just beat things to death. Like, honestly, that is a way to get me through the mid-game, or at least the early game. What I want is, like, Meat Shield. Unfortunately, I find it likely that I'm going to lose at this rate, just because due to Hat Trick, I'm skipping on, like, all of the early game stuff that I would love to be taking normally. Honestly, like, maybe I should take Steward's Quarters. But I am going to skip. Oh, God, I don't really want to do it, but I think we're taking Inferno Room right now. Unfortunately, I can't make it deployable. God, if only I could give these to Soul Guard. Again, probably should have taken one of those, but here we are. Also, maybe should have gone there just to get the Stygian unit. I still really would like to see, like, Steelworker, but I kind of neglected the part where I think I'm not getting any more banners after this point, and I didn't really think to check that. Yeah. That was a mistake. Okay. Well, we have problems then. Feels like a big waste, but we're doing that so we can just kill off some of the things, prevent the Flagellant from healing and all that. This guy's eventually gonna die. That's fine. We're just trying to build up some power a little bit. You're still gonna take 18 because he's an asshole. Yeah, maybe I need you on mid floor, not top floor. Or even bottom floor. Yeah, unfortunately, Slowguard takes a bunch of damage, and I have to heal him now, basically, but he's also going to take a beating from this guy, unless I could do just a little bit more damage, which I can't. God, it's so close to being enough. But I could do just not quite enough. Well, Soulguard is still basically dead now, unfortunately. Which is exactly what we're trying to avoid. Yeah, I really need this, like, last turn. Well, Soulguard will at least give a little bit of frostbite to him before he dies. Yeah, could have used this a while ago. God, if Torches still only did 2 damage instead of 3, that would be really nice at this moment. Alright, well, we're going to need to retry that, because that's not going to work. Oh, wrong way. This is the way that we wanted to do that. I mean, I wish that I had enough Ember that I could make the Inferno Room deployable, because this was the whole reason for wanting to do that. But here we are. Oh, unhelpful. But I just didn't have quite enough gold for that. Also, I really should have paid attention to whether I was getting more banners or not. At least we have the Inferno Room out faster this time. And by being on mid-floor, enemies do substantially less damage. And we're just going to try to bulk up some Soulguard power. Yeah, honestly, I'll just play that out to get rid of it, I guess. Soulguard takes a bunch of damage, sadly. So you'd still be dying like this. I think we want to do that, though I'm still not really enthused by that. Also, I feel like I should have done more with you. Because, yeah, you're almost killing Soulguard as is, which is not okay. Yeah, this is the problem, is like, Soulguard just dies in unhelpful fashion. Like, I do get a fair bit of frostbite on him, but that doesn't do enough at the moment. Really needed these on, like, other turns. I mean, you got 35 frostbite, that's just not nearly enough, though. I mean, I could also just have Soulguard on bottom floor. I don't really want to do that, but it is a possibility. I'm sorry. Let's do this in the correct way where I kill one of the backliners. I don't really know that this is how I want to do this, but it's at least vaguely better. I do think I probably should have bought the Steward's Quarters, and it was a little too greedy of me not to. Okay. Also, probably should have taken a Crypt Builder. I think mostly I've just set myself up for loss, unfortunately. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to heal before you take a bunch of damage, which I would like to avoid. But it's just not really feasible. Yep, this is a debacle. Also, I didn't play out Inferno Room this time, which is also a problem. Would really appreciate the random discarding in the correct order. Okay, well... slightly wrong order, but I don't think that matters. I think more what matters is the fact that I am getting absolutely shredded by Archeon. I mean, it's honestly actually fairly close to being winnable, because he loses 94 HP now. And then next turn, he'll do 18 to me, but I do 133 back to him. And then he does another 18, he takes another 132. And so, like, he does get fairly close to death, but just not close enough to death. Well, let's try this again. But, I don't know. Life is pain and problematic in multitudes. We'll see what we can do. I have no defense, and that's the problem. I did get Inferno Room this time, right now, though. In which case, I think we're doing that. Which does help a ton, even though I killed my own dudes. Yeah, not incredibly helpful, but fine. Any reason not to Inferno in the middle floor instead? It's so that I can kill off the healers before, like, on bottom floor. Because otherwise the Flagellants will do some damage themselves, but then heal from the healers. And so by having the Inferno Room kill them first, that cuts down on the HP that they come out at. God, the Flagellants are a problem. Goodbye, sweet HP. No, I was trying to kill you before you could attack me. Unfortunately, it just doesn't happen. God, I was also really hoping that I would get one of the horn breaks to deal with you. Because not doing that and having Soul Guard die early is really a pain. And yeah, sure enough, here are all of the horn breaks together. Absolutely unhelpful. So yeah, now you don't even get to get an attack off. I mean, let's try like one more time, see if I can finagle something. I don't know if it's possible for me to win this. We're in like really awful shape. And I knew it wasn't looking great when I whiffed on a lot. Like, and to be fair, I did play kind of risky. I made some bets. They did not pay off at all. Did not pay off. I don't know. Let's see what happens. Okay, so he survives another round, which is helpful. We'll build up all this a little bit. I just really wish I had any way to generate armor on Soul Guard. And like if I were able to take the fortified pauldrons, that would have been huge for us. But I wasn't. And turns out this is why. Also, not having the Alpha Fiend certainly hurts us, but oh well. Oh well. He's already got a chunk of Frostbite on him. It's not enough, though. I should have done this slightly differently. Okay, so you can have that. We shoot you, then we move you up. And I guess we'll do that, even though I would love to not have to do that to you. Yeah, get fucked, you bastard! Yeah, we'll just give you the Frostbite now. Okay. Well, not exactly what I was hoping for. But it works. Nonetheless. Yes, we did it somehow. I mean, that was really unwarranted. But there we go. Again, I have absolutely no defense. There are ways for this to turn around. Like, if we get Alloy the Ancients here, that would be a huge help to us. Absolutely, we're taking Alloy the Ancients. Without question. Really wish that this was a Steelworker. I think I have to take Siren of the Sea here. Because I need units. And I really didn't want to have to use Siren of the Sea now. That's fine. We're using Siren of the Sea. We're taking draw. That is what we're doing. Okay. I really want Merchant of Magic, and unfortunately, there is no Merchant of Magic till right here. We are definitely going for Merchant of Steel. There are some things I'd like to see at a Merchant of Trinkets. Like, frankly, I would be very happy to see, whatever it's called, the Crown, which I can't even see. There it is. Crown of the Eternal. I just couldn't think of its name. But anyway, start of turn, fully healed champions. Would really appreciate that. Nonetheless, we're going here. And then Cold Channel 2. Okay, we want Titanite. And we want Incant Armor. Okay, now, there are a number of things I'd be happy with. So, like, basically the two options here are we dupe Siren of the Sea or we dupe Alloy the Ancients. And with Siren of the Sea, we could use the Hidden Passage to ascend it, which is nice. But I think we're going to do this. The problem is I really need to upgrade it, and I would really love to upgrade it before doing all this. We are going to get rid of the Alpha Fiend, because I'm not really supposed to have it. And we're going to go from there. So, we're still in bad shape overall, but we are at least in greatly improved shape all of a sudden. Yeah, unfortunately I can't fit you. Oh, I forgot that this can self-target now. I'm still used to it not being able to do that, because that's how it was in Monster Train 1. Oh, I should have done this in different order, though. I'll just get rid of you, I guess, and get rid of you right now, even though it makes him stronger, whatever. God, them having multi-strike is pretty bad. Well, here we are. I don't really want to have to do it that way, but I do want you to survive. Goodbye a bunch of my health. I mean, it's not going to be that bad. He'll get one hit on the, well, one round on the pyre. Unfortunately, I am not a particularly good incant deck at the moment, and that does hurt me pretty bad. Okay, I don't need to get fancy. This is enough to kill you. Also, this is why it would have been really nice to have a second Siren. Because, like, my damage output, not great. But we're working on it. Unfortunately, we do lose a chunk of health ahead of time, but this is why we have wings. Also, that does do a surprising amount of damage right now. Okay. Fair enough. So it's gonna look a little silly, but we're gonna shoot Soul Guard. And then we're gonna heal Soul Guard. It doesn't matter, we have the kill already. But now we got a couple extra procs of Frostbite. And then Soul Guard is still at full health. Which is partly why I would like Crown of the Eternal, because we could just shoot Soul Guard with every torch that we get. And that would be so good for us. But we can't do it. So, you know, here we are. I can't take Guardian's Amulet. I think I might take Crystalline Seeds here, even though it's a card that I skip all the time. Could also take Titan's Tooth, but we'll just take the Crystalline Seeds. I can't take Tiresome Climb. I would like Ally the Ancients. I'm gonna take a Branding Right, though. And then, sadly, I still cannot go to a Merchant of Magic yet. We're gonna go here, I guess. There are a number of good things we could get, like Cuddlebeard or Founding Seal. Okay. That certainly helps. Doesn't help with Soul Guard's survivability, mind you, but it does help in general. Well, if only I could give this to Soul Guard. I'm probably gonna do Fecundity and dupe the Siren. I would also like to Reanimate, but at the moment, I think this is just too helpful for me. Since I already have the Hidden Passage. Yeah, fine, I'll take that. I probably don't need it. But I'm doing it anyways. Okay. Well, that's all I can play, thanks to the minus cost, or minus Ember. I mean, he is going to be fairly strong once he reaches top floor, unfortunately. Yeah, we're gonna just play that there, and then we'll shoot there, because it's very much in our favor to incance, even if we have to shoot our own units to do it. No, god damn it. I should have done that differently. Yeah, I mean, I definitely could have avoided that damage. And I should have avoided that damage, but I didn't avoid that damage. Okay, get rid of that, I guess. We're at least in much better shape than we were. Even if it's not great. And I really should have just not worried about like killing this guy last time he showed up and saved myself the fire damage. It's going alright, King's team. How is it going for you? Hi, what's this challenge that you're doing? So, what we're doing with the hat trick challenge is we pick a champion / clan combo, and then we have to do 3 runs back to back to back. Or 3 wins back to back to back, I should say. Each of the runs, we have to use a different one of their champion paths, no cross-pathing, and any cards that are used in one of the winning runs cannot be used in the subsequent runs. So we have to budget the cards from the clan combo across all 3 runs. So, that's what we're doing. So far, we're currently on the 2nd run of Soul Guard, having already done Dire Channel yesterday. Yeah, it's fine if I get sapped. I mean, at this point, it doesn't super matter. Actually, no, we're going to do something different on this turn. Because what we're going to do is we're going to hope that that doesn't discard that so we can get rid of that. Doing fine. Bistresso works since both the chef and executive chef of the hotel decided to go on holiday same time. I feel like that shouldn't be allowed. A lot of places just wouldn't allow that. But anyways, I have to deal with everything in yesterday evening. My only other sous chef texted me she's sick today. Great. Yeah. I know that feel, unfortunately. But I hope it goes well. Heal. Not that it matters, he was only down 6 HP, but here we go. And now that we can go to a Merchant of Magic, we can hopefully make everything better. I will say getting the branding right, also very, very nice for us. Especially if we can get Holdover. We are not taking Unnamed Tome. We are not taking Frenzied Swarm. We're not taking the Glacial Seal, though I do kind of want it. And you know what's funnier? I've been a student there for 8 months, and if any of the two chefs is free, I cannot be free. Now they're both on holiday, and that's great. Yeah, that's really messed up. Like, that's normally explicitly not allowed for that exact reason. Whatever. Anyways, I'm just baffled by that. Yeah, if we hadn't gotten Branding Right and or Ally the Ancient, and also somehow survived at this point, I would take Inflame, but we're just gonna take more Branding Right. Unfortunately, they are costly. Well, we have to go here. I would love the dupe, I would love the healing, and Kale is unfortunately a bad situation for us. Okay. Well, here's what we're doing. Honestly, yeah, I guess I'll do that. I probably should have double stacked the Branding Right, but that's fine. We're gonna do this. I was hoping for a Holdover, but otherwise that was a pretty solid situation for us. God, do I want Spike of the Banish just for the Valor? I don't think I do. I don't think it really helps me enough. And I don't really have anything to propagate either. So I think we're just gonna leave this. If we'd seen that earlier, I would have considered Spike of the Banish, but as is, it's not that helpful. We do want to get rid of things. And unfortunately, I do kind of want to use some of the torches still. You know what? I actually want the minus cost. And I'm not sure I care about the Horn Breaks, so we're going to do this on a torch. The Horn Breaks have been useful for us earlier, and I kind of still need them to deal with the... I was going to say I need them to deal with the Silent Suits, but that's not true. At least as long as I'm using Inferno Room. Okay, well, it's not how I want to do this, but here we are. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't have things that I desire to have. Okay. We do at least build up power quickly. And the Sirens help a fair bit in general. Unfortunately, I don't actually want this to be piercing all that much. The problem is that I think you're going to get more damage field before the Frostbite procs. Yeah, there's no way that I'm getting the damage through the Spell Shield. Could put the Inferno Room up here, but I really don't want to do that. So I think what I have to do is like this. Oh, I could have also used wings, I guess. I didn't really want to do that. No, even though I think you would have died, because just Kale does too much damage combined. Okay, but at least the Inferno Room now kills off those. And you guys are already dead, which is beautiful. Glad to hear it. Plenty happy for that. Yeah, unfortunately that would put you exactly in death range. So we're not going to do that. So I should have done that in a slightly different order, but that's okay. They're dying. And we do have a bunch of Frostbite on Kale. And then for once, Winged Spirit is actually being helpful. Also, the Alloy of the Ancient does a lot of work for us. Oh. I actually maybe should have held on to the Permafrost one. I actually don't think that's true, because we have the foregone power here. Regardless, we are getting better. We're getting stronger, more beautiful than ever before. Okay. I could move you so I take less damage, but we're actually just going to leave you so you proc Soul Guard's thing more. Like, I'm not really in danger of losing at this point. But still. Yes, go forth. Look at us and build up Frostbite. And after this battle, yeah, he has a bunch of damage shields, so what? Not a big deal. After this battle, Soul Guard will now start doing double the Frostbite, which is appealing. Ta-da! It's been a rough fucking run, and I am sad that we have to use up Siren the Seed, but so be it. If this were reinforced double armor rather than double rage, I would consider it, but it's not. Ice and Pyre's kind of made. We're definitely taking Alloy, though. Hello, Glacier. How you doing, friend? Ember has sort of been a problem. Is the 13 and 20 part of your title correct? I believe it is, yes. I'd actually changed it to 14 the other day, but it should be at 13. Since we failed with Prince yesterday. I think I just want draw. Yeah, we got right to the end with Prince and then lost, unfortunately. Well, we're definitely going here. The removals are nice, and Merchant of Magic is everything I desire in my heart of hearts. Yes, Cold Channel 3 it is. Dang, I slept through the failure. Yeah. So like that's pretty good. I would also like holdover, but I don't know that that's worth it. I'm pretty happy with just doing this. I could also double stack one of the alloys, I guess, but slept through the failure, therefore it didn't happen. Yeah. I would also be happy with Spell Chain on Branding, right? It would be the same amount of armor, but it does proc the Revenge twice, which is actually, like, quite good for us. Although, again, I'm running into Ember problems, and therefore, maybe not worth doing. I think we're just going to do this, because I don't really have enough for the reroll. I might want to get rid of the Energy Siphon. I think we're going to get rid of you because you're worthless for me, and we're going to get rid of one of these. I would like to get rid of more of those. They're vaguely kind of helpful because of the Kinstone Totem, but like mostly they're not. Okay, so these guys are automatically dead already. thanks to the rules of containment. Unfortunately, I do still have to take a chunk of damage from them. Also, I forgot that I don't have enough deployment ember for one of these guys. Well, let's build up some stuff at least. Okay. These can safely go onto the backliners with impunity. Because they gain more armor than they lose thanks to us having, what's its face? Founding Seal. Well, I had hopes. It didn't work out. That's fine. I could horn break my own dude, but that doesn't seem worth it with how much damage I would take. Alright, well, we're doing pretty decently now. I mean, honestly, sure. They barely lose any HP, and I get decently solid benefits from incanting. Okay, I'm gonna save these for next turn just because I don't know how much I actually need help killing this guy. I think we'll be okay. Yeah, like, should be fine even if I don't get too excited here. But I could have shot Solgard a bunch of times if I needed to. This is part of the problem with using Inferno Room is that I'm killing... Like, part of what makes Cold Channel strong is that you get a bunch of procs of it each turn for all the enemies attacking in. But if I am killing them before they get a chance, we don't output nearly as much Frostbite. Still, overall, it's pretty fine. Okay, we are just gonna hold on to the torches, but I think overall we'll be okay. Since we do a lot of Frostbite now. Okay, unsurprisingly that was enough. I'll just leave those. Like, I'm pretty confident I don't need to play anything here. But for my own enjoyment... Okay, and then we heal him up, and we undo all the damage that we had done with the branding rights, and now she dies. Very quickly. Like, she does a lot of damage per hit, don't get me wrong, but it doesn't matter when she's got 1200 Frostbite on her. The Preserve is okay, we're not going to do it at this point. Guardian Amulet we can't take, and Urchin Spines is not helpful for us. Can't take Tiresome Climb. Otherwise, maybe would. The Impish Scholar is sort of helpful just because we do have, like, the Ally of the Ancients, but I think we're just not going to worry about that. And the Pyro Chomper is not wildly important to us. Okay. So... kind of want to go to the left. Not sure what we would dupe. It would either be like the alloy, probably a branding right. Probably the branding right. If I go to the right, it's going to be some removals and mostly just like minus costing things. And I think that just isn't important to us. I could also make the Inferno Room deployable, but I don't have the Ember for that currently. So unless we get, like, Artificial Pyrostone, that doesn't super matter. I could take Purified Soul Shard as a way to avoid having to get rid of one of the stewards. Which might be worth it. Overgrowth Carapace would have been nice if I'd seen it much earlier, but we didn't. I guess we'll take that, even though I don't know that's really gonna matter. Yeah, I'll take Dante's Footstool. And we're going to make another of these branding rights, even though the other one costs 0. And then we're just going to get rid of some things. So we're going to get rid of a couple of you. Honestly, could stand to get rid of the Energy Siphon, since they're pretty bad for me. I think we're just getting rid of multiple Horn Breaks, though. Probably should have gotten rid of more of the foregone powers. Either way, here it is. It's fine. We should be okay. I don't even totally need the Inferno Room either, but it's okay. Okay, so there's a Siren, and then we get to work. I actually should have done that in a slightly different order probably, but that's okay. I could be shooting... I don't know I'm shooting my own Siren. I'll tell you that right now. I just spaced out. But I could be shooting Soul Guard to give off a bit more Frostbite. But when he has so few shards to begin with, it just doesn't matter. I'm a little sad that we didn't get the double a unit's armor spell. That would have been nice. Okay. Well, take 1 damage, but that's fine. We got a bunch of armor, and we put a chunk of Frostbite on Seraph. And that is exactly the sort of thing that we want to do. Yeah, unfortunately, we don't really want to play stuff while you're around. I do think it's still worth it for us to do the branding right, though, basically. Because, like, yeah, it powers up every enemy, but especially since I'm Inferno rooming most of the enemies, it does pretty substantially limit how much power increase they actually get. Okay, I am actually going to do this. Yes, it makes them stronger, but that's fine. I don't know, I probably should have just not bothered. Once again, we hit our own Soul Guard. It gives off 100 some Frostbite. Turns out pretty good. Yeah, it looked a little bad for a moment just because with all the sap, we had brought them down to just not quite high enough to get the kill. But that's fine. And the more enemies on this floor, the more damage I'm gonna deal. Oh, I should have left that in hand because we actually might have been able to discard it. Also, I should always play out like the Horn Break first. Anyways, it's fine. We're doing enough that I'm not that worried about it. Because, like, we're going into Relentless. He's already got 1,300 Frostbite on him. Sure, we'll just leave it like that. I could have ascended him, but we chose not to. Alright, and we'll just leave the torch for this turn. How dare you incant them, you bastard. I mean, none of this matters. He already has enough Frostbite on that he's dying before, you know, on the first round. There we go! Well, I'm glad this run stabilized because it was real awkward and bad earlier. We do still have to beat the Titans, but I've got plenty of HP, and I'm not too worried about it. We will have Corruption building up, which is a little unfortunate, but we should be fine overall. So, we'll see what happens. I think we're setting him on mid-floor this time. Since we are guaranteed to be able to ascend you first. Yeah, let's just do it like this. I take a tiny bit of pyre damage, whatever, fine. Sometimes you take pyre damage and you just suck it up. Inferno Room takes care of all of the major problems there. And then we do what we can. No, I wanted it to save the torch. That was the one I didn't want it to discard. I mean, it's fine. We're still getting a good chunk of Frostbite on them to start. It's just, I would like to get as much as I can at the beginning. Because things will get out of our control to some degree as time goes on. Okay. And Savagery is the only one that I'm, like, really kind of worried about. Because Entropy automatically is getting a bunch of Frostbite every turn no matter what. Which is going to add up very quickly. The only, like, major concern is getting Savagery enough that he's going to die. Especially because he doesn't spawn with waves, and so there are less things to attack in and generate Frostbite. That said, I could do something like that to give you another thing to proc this turn. Yeah, and then we just generate as much as we can. Like, Soulguard is taking a beating. He's losing all of his armor here. But, you're getting a bunch of Frostbite. Which is more or less all we care about. Yeah, because you're basically down, I was hoping to get rid of the Curse of Entropy. Anyways, I do take a beating here, but that's fine. And then essentially we're just waiting on Dominion to die. Well, we heal Soul Guard, doesn't matter because we powered up these enemies a little bit, and also he has a bunch of corruption on him. But that's okay. We do just pump out tons of Frostbite, because every one of those is worth like 144 Frostbite. And then we just murder Dominion. There we go. Ta-da! Anyways, again, it was a really rough run earlier. I was very disappointed that I whiffed on the Steelworker. The Sirens were still quite helpful for us, but yeah, would have been really nice to get the Steelworker early. And I did use up a number of useful tools, but hopefully that's fine. See what happens. See what happens. And let's record what we used. So, there it is. So that was Cold Channel. And we did that with... Why am I blanking? We did that with Wings. That's why. Because I never think about Wing Spirit because it's bad. So we had, what? Siren of the Sea. And I think that was it. Yeah, because we got rid of the Alpha Fiend. We didn't draft any other units because we were trying to hold out for, like, Steelworker. Okay. And then as far as spells go, we had kind of a weird smattering of things. We had Crystalline Seeds, which I used twice maybe and basically didn't matter. Energy Siphon, which was basically irrelevant to us. Alloy of the Ancients, which was important. Hidden Passage, which was useful. A little sad to get rid of. Hornbreak is fine. And then it was Branding Right, I think is the last one. So we did use up several of the armor spells, especially now that Fortify is no longer a spell. Like, on the whole, Fortified Pauldrons is probably worth having the swap, but in some situations like this, I really do miss just having Fortify as a spell. Regardless, so be it. And as far as rooms, we used up Inferno Room. And I don't think we had any equipment. Yeah, that should be everything. Okay. Well, we'll see how the third run goes. So, I mean, obviously, like, Herzl's is good. We could do Pyre of Savagery, which would help in case we get, like, one of the sweep units. I don't really love doing that, but it is a possibility to help us mitigate bad situations. I think we're just taking Heart of the Pact. Especially because I've enjoyed using some of the kind of, like, lesser used Pyres. But we'll take Heart of the Pact. And we're going to hope that we get, like, Nameless Siren and can do stuff with that. Okay. Well, two of those cards are already used cards. But we run it anyways, I guess, because we have Titan Channel. Shadow Sheath is interesting. And we're up against Entropy again. Do I want Shadow Sheath? Kind of? I don't think I really do. It works okay with a Horned Warrior, though. But I think mostly it's just not a thing I want. And I don't particularly want wing clippings. So we're going to skip. I mean, like, wing clippings maybe I should be taking here. I don't know. I generally hate it, but... Unfortunately, doing the -1 here does mean I can't play the Ritual Battle, which is a problem. But we'll see. We're just going to try to power up Soul Guard. That's basically all we do. Since with the new Titan channel, he just stays phased as long as we want. And then we can use this ability to unphase him once per battle and power him up based on how many shards he has. Unfortunately, you're dying just by attacking into the spikes, which feels really bad. And you get +8, +8. So currently you'd be like 40-40-ish. I'm gonna let it go for like one more turn, I think. They only take one hit on the Pyre, like that's not that bad. And I didn't really want to do the exact math to figure out why. Why is that how it discards? Anyways, didn't want to do the exact math to figure out if we were beating the boss or not. I was pretty sure we would have been fine, but now we're definitely fine. I mean, he still does a chunk of damage to us, but it's fine. Soul Guard Giga Chad. You know it. Okay. So I can take any of these. I'm gonna say right now we're definitely taking Helical Crystallis. I think. I mean, in saying that, part of me wants to take Crypt Builder because it is still a good card. We do still have foregone powers, so we can potentially proc it that way. And also, there's a possibility that we get Frenzied Swarm or Deep Offering, because we still haven't drafted either of those. And that is really nice to be able to have just a free casting spell. But I do like Helical Crystallis quite a bit. Alright, fuck it. We're taking the Crypt Builder. So Important Work doesn't do anything for us without an Imp. I could maybe take the Fledgling Imp, and it could be good since I already have the Horned Warrior, and there's always the possibility that I'm gonna whiff on, like, Siren of the Sea. Not Siren of the Sea, Nameless Siren. And if I whiff on Nameless Siren, I need ways to construct a deck that can still kill things. Obviously, there's like more stuff I can do than that, but we'll take the Fledgling Imp, I guess. And we're gonna go here. There's other stuff I'd like to do there, but we're gonna go here nonetheless. Offering Monument. Well, it's not what I had in mind. Could take the Cold Kalia. It would work decently with the whole Fledgling Imp situation, especially since there is dualism and I could use that on the Fledgling Imp. I think I want the Offering Monument though. I think I want the Offering Monument. Not wild about this, but I do think I'm going to do it. The problem is that I don't have enough to reroll. That's not entirely true. Because I can get the Incant Armor, which I do want. I probably should have taken the HP as well. I don't know why I didn't, but I didn't. Here we are. That's fine. We'll see how this goes. Yeah, part of the issue is... I mean, I just have issues all over the place. Let's be very clear. And yes, I probably should have just used that crit builder to kill the frontliner here. But I didn't. And that's just the world we gotta live in now. Do I actually want to do that? I feel like I probably do. Yeah, I mean, I could also do that here, but I also just kind of want to shoot to kill. Yeah. Unhelpful, but so be it. Anyways, we're trying to reduce the damage that's coming in while I get set up. Unfortunately, everything is awful. Honestly, as dumb as this looks, this is better for me. It would have been better if I could have done it with a Horned Warrior, but I can't fit it with a Horned Warrior because of the Shield Steward. And I couldn't put the Horned Warrior up here and still do it because, again, I'm taking up too much capacity as is. Okay, well, at least we get the kill on you. And once I bring Soul Guard online, we'll be okay. Which, frankly, I think I can do basically any time. Yeah. Yeah, that seems reasonable. Okay, so let's get rid of your damage shields, and... Well, I was hoping to hit the Crypt Builder. It did not. It would have done a lot of work for us, because he does have spell weakness on him, but alas. A man can dream. Either way, it's fine. We get the kill here, no problem. No problem. We're not gonna take the Titan's Gratitude, I don't think. Even though it does work okay with Crypt Builder. If it were just a targeted discard, it would work well. But it's not. For whatever reason. Technically, I could take, like, the Mollis Mage, and you can use that to enhance, like, the Crypt Builder. We're not doing that. Could take a Welder Helper. Could even take a Vent. Could take the Impressive if I'm going to be using the Fledgling Imp long term. I don't know if I will be using the Fledgling Imp long term, but maybe. I really just wish I knew what my unit situation was going to look like. I mean, it seems fairly likely at this point that I'm going to be relying on the Horned Warriors. I really wish I had another Merchant of Steel right here. This feels bad. I don't know that I care about the Imp. I don't think I want Impressive. I say let's take a Vent. I guess we're going here. Unfortunately, it's knockback Archeon, which is not great for us. I could take Demon Fiend, as much as I hate it. I mean, it would be very helpful right now. And that's about it. I mean, it's technically dual to make it better, but I don't really want to. Okay, let's skip that. The problem is just nothing about my deck is particularly great right now. We're going to do this. We are going to... I could do this. I was trying to avoid using the Ritual Battle because we're not supposed to have them, but again, whatever. It is what it is. I could also just, like, minus cost the Crypt Builder and just do it that way. Okay, let's do that. Fine, I guess. I don't know. I'm not wild about that, but it's okay. Ooh, well, you don't say. It's just not enough, and I don't really want to take up one of your upgrade slots. Unfortunately, I'm not happy about any of this. Yeah, I'm not wild about that. You are basically just gonna die in this coming fight anyways. I think we just don't want to do that. And I would love to do this if I already had... Endless on you, but I don't. But that would be really nice. The problem is just I really don't want to do that as is. Could do that. It's not like the worst thing. I think we're just not gonna take it. If it were a slightly different time, I would do it. Unfortunately, knockback Archeon is not great for us. But it is what it is. And this is partly why I probably should have given you the HP, and I didn't give you the HP, and I do have regrets in that regard. Yeah, because you have slightly too much attack. And I could just play you up here, which I think is what we're doing. But, I don't know. I have problems in multitude. I just need to stall long enough that I can bring Soul Guard online at good HP is mostly the big thing. Okay, whatever. The vent is at least going to do some good work for us. It's not going to do incredible work for us. We are going to be leaking some damage. Oh well, these things happen. But it does exist. Okay. Alright, we get sapped a bunch. At least Soul Guard avoids the sap because he's in stasis. I think at basically any time we can bring you online now, but we are probably going to wait just to be safe. Well, unfortunate. Yeah, we'll take a little bit of damage, so be it. There we go. Even just the mighty offering monuments is enough. I was gonna bring Soul Guard online there, but we didn't need to, so I guess we just wait longer. And then we just avoid the sap as long as we can. I should have played out the Vengeful Shards, and I got carried away. Anyways, there we go. We're not taking more damage from him. We are low-ish on HP, but it's fine. Like, realistically, we're okay. And there we go. Okay. It's rough, but it's okay. We're not taking Hoarfrost Effigy. Just smacked Archeons next Tuesday. He did get blown out of the sky pretty hard. Rage Room is okay. And Last Stand is sort of interesting. I think we're going to take Rage Room. And I can't take Siren to the Sea. Unfortunately. I think we're just gonna not take a Horned Warrior and keep the one that we've already got. And then I would love to do Ember. I think we're taking Capacity though, because I need the help. Okay, so hopefully we hit like Multi-Strike and Endless or Quick. We have a dupe right here. Fine. Okay, Titan Channel it is. Now we have choices. I was going to do the Horned Warrior. I might just do the Vent. It's not a ton of damage, though, but it is helpful. I was also considering doing the Fledgling Imp. But I could do this. The problem is that, again, we still don't have capacity to play out the Fledgling Imp at the same time. Okay, we're gonna do this, I guess. We'll figure it out. And then we're going to just drop one thing just so that my draws are a little better. This is a concern, but I really need the gold, and I don't know. I probably shouldn't be doing it. Nonetheless, here we are. Okay, so I am going to do this, and thankfully that got rid of the correct one. Would really like to draw, yeah, Rage Room, okay. I mean, this part doesn't really matter. Because we have Heaven Seal, so there's healing back up. But I mean, I don't need to hit you. Also, that was a waste of the spell weakness. It's fine. It's all fine. Yeah, not how I meant to do this. We'll just try bringing you online right now. I think that's good enough. Especially with the Horned Warriors bulking up and with the Vent taking out all of the backliners. I guess I don't really need to be incanting as much as possible now. I'd like to do the Ritual Battle, but I also just want to avoid taking damage if I can avoid taking damage, so may as well. Like, the incanting still helps my armor, so it's not like it's without purpose. Nah, I was hoping to hit the Crypt Builder. But it's fine, my dudes are strong enough so they kill him. And frankly, it is better that he survives in that instance, because it gives my dudes things to attack to proc the Rage Room. Like, Rage Room is not the fastest scaling, but it is some scaling. And that is helpful to me. Yes. Delicious, delicious rage. Again, I'm relatively low, but Soul Guard is still pretty meaty here. Anyways, there we are. We handle Ajax pretty decently. And I think I got out of that without taking any damage. It was either that or very little. No, we didn't take any damage. Yeah, I do want the Frenzied Swarm, though things get a little awkward for us. And the quick basically doesn't matter anymore, which is a shame. But hey. Yeah, so we haven't used March of Shields, we haven't used Inflame. I think we're just going to take March of Shields, even though I don't know that it really matters at this point. So I do want to go here to make Rage Room deployable. And it would be nice to dupe, like, the Crypt Builder or the Vent. But I would also like to go here and look for Holdover. Yeah, I think that's what we're doing. I'd love to do Intrinsic on this. We're going to do -1 in case we don't see that. I will do this on the Crypt Builder. Okay. It's good enough. We do need this to be 0 cost because I can't use it with the Vent otherwise, which is why I was so keen on making sure that we got a minus cost on it. I don't really care about the double stack. I could do double stack here or here. I guess I'm going to do that. I mean, Umberstone is cute, but I don't know that it really matters to me right now. I'm not really strong enough to be utilizing that properly. But maybe? I mean, Trample is good, I just don't know that it's gonna matter. I guess we'll take it. I guess. And then we have things to remove. There are a lot of things to remove, but foregone powers are unfortunately absolutely unplayable for us now, basically. And that's just how it is. Yeah, we still have a lot of problems to overcome. But we'll see. We'll see. I do wish I didn't have Quick on the Horned Warriors, but sadly, that is how it is. Okay, but I have... How dare you? Make me waste everything. But it's either that or I let these guys escape, and I don't really want to let these guys escape. So, there we go. It worked out. We got the Collector. We didn't leak any enemies. It's all sort of coming together at the moment. I'll give that to you, and then give you some armor, and then we just kind of keep doing the same thing. Like, again, my deck is a mess, but it is a mess that is working well enough at the moment. Other than the part where we are going to be leaking this guy, unfortunately. I mean, I do want to get rid of the Calcified Ember, but I think this is not the time to do that. Because I think what we're going to do is, rather than leaking this guy, we are going to bring Solgard to life and let him murder a dude. This turns out that's vaguely important to me. I don't actually need to worry about playing those. Okay, so we were going to do that here, and then we're going to daze him so that he doesn't generate or reanimate. I think we'll be okay even if he does, just because I have, like, decent attack and I have decent defense, since I haven't been, like, losing any health over the course of this. But I would still prefer to avoid it. We do not want to play him here, otherwise it will ruin the whole... preventing him from... Oh, whoops. God. And then I didn't even do it. Well, it's fine. We still have enough to kill him, even with me forgetting the one thing I was literally just talking about. Alright, it's fine. We do a lot of damage. He doesn't do too much in return. And we chew through his reanimate stacks relatively fast. Okay. Overall, this is going pretty decently. I would happily take Guardian's Amulet here. I cannot do so because we already used it on a prior run. I might take Urchin Spine, so I don't really want the Calcified Ember. God, they look so menacing. I don't know. I, like, never take Urchin Spines, but it would be okay for us here. I think I'm still skipping, especially because the Frenzied Swarm is not intrinsic. Would love the important work if I had an Endless Imp. And so here's the deal. I don't know, man. I don't know what we're doing. So I could go here looking to get Endless on the Imp. Maybe want to do that. I would have to take Capacity or get like Exile's Diadem at like the Merchant of Arms to make that work. If I don't hit Endless, then the Merchant of Steel ends up just being a waste. And on the other hand, I can go to the left, I can maybe pick up an artifact or two, I can dupe the Crypt Builder, and like all that's pretty good. And I think that's what I lean towards. But I do worry that I'm going to struggle to kill the heavies later on. We're at least not up against Savagery, so we have more time to get going. But the important work would be nice. I think we're just gonna skip, maybe, I don't know. Part of the issue is that if I do still want to try to do Endless Imp, I really should commit to that right now. Because I need to know whether I want to take Capacity at Kayle or not. It's kind of fine if I just don't take Capacity at Kayle, or that I take Capacity at Kayle either way. Because I could also just make another Horned Warrior one way or another. Okay. We're gonna take this. We'll see what happens. We're gonna go here. I probably should go to the left. Would have loved this before, but I can't use it now. Nope. If we didn't already have Rage Room, the Fight Club might be okay, but it doesn't work, so we're not going to. Okay. So there's Endless. That is good to know. Okay, well, that works out pretty okay. I do have to decide whether I want just one Horned Warrior up here or two. I think we're just gonna do it like this for now. Yeah, because like we can give you Trample if we need it. Plus we do have the Vent already. Like we have a decent amount of wave clear even without that. Yep. Unhelpful draw pattern, but that's fine. Yeah, we're still just gonna do this here just so we can get more incants. Lets me draw more, and it lets me bulk up Soul Guard a bit once we start doing things. It's worth it. Okay, so then we kill you. And very few things matter beyond that. Unfortunately, we always burn the spell weakness with a Vent. I mean, technically I can play the Vents on a different floor. I'm not going to play the Vents on a different floor, though. But it would be nice to have the spell weakness going into the Crypt Builder instead, is all I'm trying to say. Ooh, we're not actually killing you at this rate. It would take 30 pyre damage. Is there some other way I can do this? This is gonna look dumb, but yeah, I'm not like happy about that, and I still will take a chunk of damage from you. It's a lot of damage, honestly. Oh, and I didn't kill the imp. I mean, maybe I still don't want to kill the imp. Because the imp is contributing some damage there. Just out of curiosity, what does this look like? Yeah, except then you're gonna get eaten and you'll give... And you're... I don't know, this feels very bad. I am just worried about the Chosen Bastion. Except then you survive. I remember that this is why we weren't doing it in that order. The problem is I think everything is bad. I mean, I can do something like that. But with them having the... Oh, I need to bring you online. Yeah, the problem is that you have 9 attack and a bunch of health, and we're only going to be doing 15 damage a pop to you. Or not 15, 45 damage a pop to you. So we will be taking a lot of damage. I just want to make sure I'm not dying. But I think this is the best that we get. Maybe... Well, I think that's going to work. I'm not going to math it more. Yeah. A lot of damage, but we survive, and that's the important part. Although you do scare me. Yeah, was not great. We'll be very clear about that. So we should be in dramatically better shape going forward, even though we had to wake up Solgard early, but whatever, fine. Yeah, should be totally fine now, basically. Alright, and then our dude is actually strong enough to trample over some things. Yada, yada, yada. Here we go. And we do get stronger every turn. It's just not as stronger as one might wish. But it is better, and this is why we want a second Horned Warrior. Because, boy, would that help. But hey, anyways, we took a chunk of damage, but we survived, and that's the major importance. And having another Horned Warrior in a little bit will help quite a bit. There's also a lot of other things we could get that would help a ton. But that alone will do a lot for us. And, like, maybe I could have done this, or I didn't have Soul Guard on the floor, or I didn't have the Offering Monument on the floor. I thought that was still the best option for us, but maybe not. Who knows? Either way, he has a ton of lifesteal and a lot of attack, but even so, we're already killing him. Also forgot to kill the Imp last turn. Does not matter. I mean, none of this matters. We're just doing it for the kicks. But there we go. And thus he dies. Okay, well, real awkward, but we're not dead. Nope, not taking those, I don't think. I mean, Spike the Stygian's kind of cute, but no. Spike the Hellwarned also don't think we need. And we're doing this. Okay, so I don't need Merchant of Steel anymore other than just getting the golds. That's fine. We're going here. The healing is okay. And I do have 4 Ember. Yeah, so it should be fine to make the Rage Room deployable because I just don't really need to play out the Shield Stewards. And so then I'll have enough for the 2 Horned Warriors and the Offering Monument and still play the Rage Room. Okay, and now he goes to plus 15 per shard. Don't need Zone of Silence. I don't know that I care about re-rolling here. I think mostly I care about getting rid of Foregone Power and other stuff that are not critical importance. I should also get rid of the Ritual Battles, probably, because I do struggle to play them. Luckily, you're not going to matter. Because that is what the event is for. Okay, not a bad start. I don't have a way to kill him this turn, mind you, but that's fine. It is still off to a good start. And I will say that, like, the Imp is sort of cutting into and canting for Soul Guard. Oh well, that's fine. Sometimes that's just how things gotta be. Oh, I did forget that I can power up my own dudes by torching them. I forgot that aspect of the Rage Room. I knew they were getting stronger when I was, what am I trying to say? Yeah, I mean, I guess we'll still play you out and kill you. You don't do anything right now, and I am wasting the torch. Not the torch. I'm not playing out the Umberstone here, but that's fine. Don't mind me. Forgot what I was trying to say. Oh yeah, I knew that they were getting stronger when they were getting attacked by enemies. I just had totally spaced out that I could be doing the same thing that is normally done with Wrathful Prince and power up that way as well. Okay, you're surviving, but it doesn't really matter. Because you don't attack the pirate. And that is what we care about. Alright, so let's do that, which substantially improves the situation. Okay, but I kind of fucked things up. Yeah, we're not going to do that. I was afraid that was going to happen. Okay, well... let's not do it that way, then. Oh, yeah. Okay, well, that's fine. We'll bring Slowguard to life. That's good enough. It's just the reanimate is messing with me in one way or another. And unfortunately, I didn't get rid of... I didn't give trample to my dude and stuff and things, and here we are. But it's alright. Everything's okay. Every single thing is okay. Rax, you are concerning, but I don't think you're concerning enough. Yeah, honestly, I would just torch my own dudes. Okay. And we're gonna daze Rax so that he doesn't bulk up. I think we're fine even if he does, but it does make me a lot more comfortable knowing that he's not going to increase in strength. Okay. Well, we have to do this in not the way I want to do it. But that's okay. So we're going to do this first. And then we do that, which allows us to get Ember back to then play the Imp again. And with that, we have enough to kill both of them. Which again, was only a problem because of the reanimate. But even then, it would have been okay. Also, I forgot to daze Rax last turn. Doesn't matter. Everything's okay. Look at us. Truly the greatest of all time. There we go. Technically not killing his buddy, but that's fine. The trample just cleaves through his minions, and then we just murder him to death. Okay. It's all going pretty okay. We cannot take another Frenzied Swarm. I don't think we want the Urchin Spines. I will take another Important Work, though. There's just really no downside to it. I might just go for the Merchant of Magic here. I mean, like, I could dupe the Crypt Builder, which I kind of want to do. Could also dupe the Important Work. Also, if we happen to get Pyrestone Housing and Smidgestone, we could make the Horned Warrior smaller and dupe that, although I wouldn't have the Ember to play it, unless we also got Artificial Pyrestone. At least not during deployment, I should say. But the removals are nice. I already have a chunk of HP. I think mostly we're fine. I don't know. So, like, the Merchant of Magic would be for Intrinsic on the Umbra Stone and for, like, Spell Chain or Holdover on the Important Work. That's mostly it. Also, I just realized that the only two artifacts I have are the two Heaven's Lights. Sure, fine, whatever, we'll just go here. Cuddlebeard does not help us. Would have appreciated that in a different world. I could take Purified Soul Shard to avoid the removal of the Shield Steward, which costs me less than just removing it, so we'll do that. I will happily take Resonant Shard, and then Rules of Containment I will take. Wasn't planning on it, but I will take it, although I did forget to look at this. Sure, enjoy. Should have just taken the -1 for the Umberstone, or for other things like I was originally planning, and then I didn't. But I guess we'll do this and just get healing, because I can. I don't know. None of this matters. I don't care. Yeah, like, my deck is not perfect, but it's reasonably strong. It's got some problems here and there, but for the most part, it's pretty good. Yeah, I don't know that we're gonna survive turn 1 against Sarah. Realistically, and if I were doing no restarts, this is what I would do, is I would put the Shield Steward up top, just because I'm guaranteed to be in a better position that way. But it worked out. We drew into the Imp, who can now chunk block for us, which is all we need. Okay. Yeah, we'll do it like this, I guess. Oh, I didn't play out the Imp. Whoops. Never mind. Let's do this in the correct way. Yeah, I'll do like that. I take the 1 damage, it's fine. And we're mostly in a situation right now where everything is okay. I am not too worried about the enemies getting buffed, and I don't have to worry about really any of this, because we get to discard all those without having to worry about them. It is a shame that Soulguard is missing out on all the rage, by the way, but so be it. Most of the enemies die before we do anything. Or not most of them, but all the Purified Souls die thanks to Rules of Containment. It's not as good as Jack Strips, but still good. Okay, so we played that. Oh, actually I don't have to do this in this order. I do miss out on some incants, kind of no matter what, but I think we'd prefer to do that and just shoot him that way. Okay. Again, we are buffing a ton of enemies. That's fine. They're not going to get to attack, and half of them die before they get to top floor. And I do have a good chunk of attack now. Plus, I have trample now. Okay, do I want to just bring Soulguard online now? Like, I should, but I also kind of just want to see how high his number gets. But it would be pretty strong now, and all that. It's just, I don't really need him. This is kind of my problem with Titan Channel Soul Guard, is oftentimes you just build a deck where he ends up being sort of irrelevant, but I still like it a lot more than the old design, because I do think it's fun and interesting and cool for the shards to still keep mattering later on into the fight. And there have been situations in this run where, this is the enhanced one, so we can just do that. And there have been situations in this run where we needed to bring Soul Guard online like earlier than I'd planned so that we could catch enemies who would otherwise leave. So it's not totally guaranteed. Why did these guys not die to the Frostbite? Oh, it's because of the Titan skin. You piece of shit. Is Soul Guard just cosmetic here with everything else doing the work? At the moment, that is true. I mean, he's been valuable elsewhere in the run. But, yes, at the moment, that is the case. Oh, fuck you and your handful bullshit. I mean, I don't have to do this. It mostly just makes me angry that we'd be wasting the spell chain. Unfortunately, we're so far in the fight that it takes a while for it to do the reset turn. Okay, so let's do this in the correct way, where we play the non-spell chain one first. Also, again, Soul Guard's missing out on a lot of rage by not being revived or made whole. So it is a bit of a waste that we're still leaving him, you know, in stasis. So I never did get rid of the ritual battles, and I kind of meant to, but that's fine. Okay, so I can... Oh, you have that, you bastard. Alright, well, we're doing it this way. So we still get to play him once. And then we're still killing everything. I'm just double checking that I'm not, like, messing this up. We should be fine, given that my dudes are pumping out, you know, sort of obscene amounts of damage. But just, it's good to be certain. Alright, and now Soul Guard has 895 attack and 920 HP. He does do less damage than these guys do, but, you know, that's fine. Like, legitimately, it would be better for us to bring him online earlier, but it doesn't matter. Everything's fine. There we go. Everything's fine. Okay, time to fight the Titans, and we should be okay. And this will then be the end of Soul Guard's hat trick. Certainly much better than it went for Prince. Poor Prince. I mean, we got to the end with Prince, and we had some good runs, but sadly it didn't work out. Okay, so I do kind of want to set up on bottom floor. The problem is, again, I don't know that I'm going to have enough defense to survive it. If we draw into, like, the Imp or the Frenzied Swarm, will be fine. Or even the March of Shields. But if we don't hit those, then it won't work as well. I think we just need to set up on mid-floor at least. And just accept that I'm going to have to deal with some Scourges and cry. I mean, I did get the Frenzied Swarm, but hey, we didn't know. We didn't know! We just didn't know it at the time. Honestly, I'm going to shoot my own dude. We're gonna do that so I can dodge some damage. Like, I probably shouldn't, because who cares? Oh, I was gonna leave you up front, but I did forget about the March of Shields. So that would pull you up front anyways. Well, we'll do that, that's fine. Yeah, sadly, we don't have the Imp yet. And I get the Scourge cards, which nobody in their right mind holds any love or joy for. Unhelpful, dare I say. Yeah, that's not gonna work. Okay, so we need to do this better. That's fine. I mean, I maybe can still make this work. It's just losing the Offering Monument is very much not what we want. I don't know, let's try it like this. Yeah, this first turn, though, really is pretty underwhelming. I might just bring Soul Guard online real early, unfortunately. Just because then he can survive here and block for us. It's not great, but it keeps the core things alive. Once I can start getting the Imp out, things look a lot better. Again, we drew in, like, the worst way, unfortunately. I mean, that's sort of to be expected, given that they also give us just a bunch of garbage cards here. And nobody likes the garbage cards. I'll be honest, I didn't really think about this very hard, and I should have done this slightly differently. You know what? Let's actually do it like this. The main thing is that I meant to do spell weakness on that, and then I didn't think about it too hard, and there we go. We're still not killing him, but it's better. Okay, yes. Please give me my goddamn Imp. Okay. And... oh, whoops. Yeah, I mean, whatever. Here we are. Okay, we're doing that there, and then we're doing this here, and we'll figure it out. I at least don't have to shoot my own Imp anymore, because the Titans will naturally kill him, and he'll absorb the corruption each turn from here on out, which is nice. Okay, so that needs to go there, more or less. And then we just kind of do our thing. And I forgot to play the Pyroline. Knew there's something I was forgetting. Don't mind me. I'm getting so caught up worrying about other things that I keep forgetting some, you know, vaguely important things. Like, not losing. Okay, so this has to go there so we can kill those guys. That goes there so we don't take a bunch of damage. Would be nice to do on Savagery to prevent him from hurting the fire. But also, who cares about him hurting the fire? Truly, who cares? Okay, we just play out the imp a ton of times, and that does a lot for us. We do that. We explode a dude. We don't ever have to give ourselves sap. It's all looking pretty decent. I mean, it looks scary until we play the Frenzied Swarm, but we're going to play the Frenzied Swarm. There we go. Yeah. Big change in damage taken. It's a shame you can't daze Entropy, but whatever. That is the choice that was made for some reason. Yes. Okay. Whatever. I guess we still do the Pyrolite, even though it barely matters to me. I mean, I'm basically not taking damage here. So I guess I will just daze you and prevent that. We're almost there. And unfortunately, you're a jerk. You kind of ruin everything we know and love. Yeah, you're already dying. We'll just do it this way so that the Silence dude dies here. Because otherwise he's not going to die because I can't hit him with my units. Because for some godforsaken reason, he has stealth. But it's fine. It's fine. Now that Savagery is here, we just get to kill him. And that is all that matters. Oh, yeah, we'll do it this way. I'm just trying to take slightly less damage. And I forgot for a moment that I could just daze him. But there we go. And thus, victory's acquired. Ooh. We did still take a lot of damage, even accounting for the fact that I was healing 3 every time the Crypt Builder came up. It's just that we were pretty slow on the kill was the main thing. If we had drawn better, like on the Imp at the very beginning of the draw instead of right at the end, would have gone a lot faster. But for like the first 2 cycles of Savagery or something, we were pretty weak on damage. And so it was pretty slow and actually taking them down. Regardless, there we go! We did it! We beat Solgard's challenge. Exciting stuff was had by all. And I forgot to record this again. That's fine. And we are now up to 14 of 20 complete. And apparently my numlock is turned off. There we go. I don't know why you put the question mark there, but fair enough. Wilden 10 looms. Yeah, unfortunately he does. Oh, yeah, Wilden 10's still probably going to be one of the worst ones remaining. There are a lot of, good things going for... I mean, Wilden 10 is not, the weakest champion, but he does benefit a lot from being able to cross path, and we won't be able to cross path. And also, just in general, I don't like playing Awoken and Monstering 2 all that much compared to a lot of the other options. But we'll see. We'll see what's offered. I don't really want to play him right now, though I probably should. I kind of want to do Grail next. Maybe we do Grail next. But Still gotta do Prince again at some point. Gotta do Wildenton. You know, whatever. Primordium shouldn't be difficult. And Fade should probably be fine. I'm not exactly sure what clan combo I want to do Fade with, though. But we'll see. There are a lot of ways for Fade to work well. But I think we do Grail next, just because. And Grail is definitely, very clearly, gonna go with Banished. But, not sure what we're doing with the Pyre Heart. And I am still going to have to budget things across the clan combo. I mean, I have a rough idea of, like, what we want to see, but that's fine. I mean, Grail in general is a strong champion, and all of his paths are good. There's a lot of different ways we can take this, but Banish is definitely the best option for him for just a number of reasons. And we definitely want Just Cause, yada, yada, yada. Here we are. That said, what Pyre do we want? I don't know that there's any specific Pyre we want for any of his paths. Grail. Technically, Savagery is cute on one or more of them. Herzl's Horde we almost certainly want for one of them. What makes this clan combo so obvious? The things that make it the best option for him is that there are a couple more equipments in Banish. Like there's Penitent's Blood Suit and there's Penitent's Death Suit. Not necessarily great on their own, but they do work quite well with Sword Maiden, who works well with really any of Grail's paths, but particularly either Living Armory or whatever the other one's called, Learning Limb, but it can also work well with Devour. But anyway, so Sword Maiden is a great extra unit to go with Grail, as well as Cleave is a way to turn Devour Grail into a winning combo. Because Devour Grail, it's very easy to get high attack power with, but you still need enough wave clear. And so ideally you get like Trample, or you get Multi-Strike, or you get, you know, wave clear through your other units, or you get something like Cleave, which allows you to turn his like 800 to 1000 plus attack power into a wave clear solution. So it's just a variety of things like that that combo very well with Grail. I mean, just Banish in general is a powerful, strong, versatile clan, as is Lazarus. So there's a lot of options to begin with. Also, Grail, especially with Living Armory, benefits pretty strongly from being able to overstack. So being able to ascend units onto his floor is very good. Yada, yada, yada. There we go. That's why we're doing it. Anyways, I never did really settle on what heart we're using. One of these is going to be Bogworms. One of these is going to be Herzl's. Even though I feel a little bad that we use those on basically every champion, but I've been trying to avoid using Life Mother's Pyre. I don't want to use Pyre Savagery all the time. We can't use Dominion. I hate Entropy. I hate Malika's. And I've been trying not to just like default to like Fear's Greed and Herzl's Horde all the time. And I'm never going to pick Proto Heart Cage. So our options are somewhat limited. I do hope they add more Pyre Hearts at some point. I really like the addition of them in Monster Train 2. It's one of those things that like I had never thought about until like they had announced that. Like I had never considered it back in Monster Train 1 that they would do something like alternate Pyre Hearts, but it is a great addition. It has been a lot of fun to play around with them. Anyways, all that said, I think Bogworms is probably just an obvious good start here. We might do Aquaths as the last one, but we'll do Bogworms to start. Go from there. Okay. Explosive Reaction is fine. Penitent's Blood Suit is whatever. Avenger is fine. Alright, let's see what we've got. Learning Limb. I mean, I do kind of want to get rid of Learning Limb earlier. But this is not a particularly great start for Learning Limb. Is there an armory upcoming? Not till there. And by armory, I mean Merchant of Arms. But so be it. I will say, by the way, the one thing that's going to be hard for Grail here is just that there's a limited pool of equipment, and at least Living Armory wants to have a ton of equipment, and so we're going to be a little... We're going to be a little limited because we can't reuse cards. Anyways, I think we're just taking Learning Limb here. It's not particularly impressive right now. Could take It Hungers, but I guess we'll just take Learning Limb. Yeah, we'll take Jackstrips. Turns out Jackstrips are good. Unfortunately, we're not up against, like, Entropy, where they'd be a lot better for us, but we'll see what we can do. Ideally, we just get some equipment. And we get, like, Sword Maiden, and we build our identity around that. Well, we're gonna do that. Okay, I did hope for that so that we could kill a little bit more. So that we can start powering up the erratic assistance at least. I probably should have played on a lower floor for this exact reason, but I wasn't thinking about it. Well, I didn't really want to play that there, but that's fine. We don't need all of the erratic assistants to get powered up, but it is helpful to get at least a couple of them. Unfortunately, I do want you in front, so I don't really want to use the Just Cause on you. I guess we use it lower. Okay, we do that, and you can have that. Technically wrong order, but whatever, we'll just do it that way. I should have done the two Just Causes first. But, again, it doesn't really matter. Technically, I made him weaker by putting on the weaker Scissor Hands. It's okay. We easily murder the boss there. Not a problem. I don't want those things. So we're gonna skip. I mean, Windblade is pretty underwhelming, but it is a real equipment, and therefore I think we're gonna take it? I don't know. Like, I'm not happy about it, but I need some equipment that I can start powering up, basically. We're gonna go here, hoping for a Sword Maiden. It's fine if we don't get one, it's just that would be nice. Okay, I will take the Sword Maiden. I mean, I could power up the explosive reactions. I wasn't really planning on it, but I may as well. It would kind of be nice to save explosive reaction for a later deck, but that's fine. That's fine. I could also just, like, remove some cards. Mark of Invasion does not matter to us, thanks to the mighty and beautiful power of Jack Strips. Cannot overstate how useful a card it is. Or not card, but, you know, thing. Kind of want to play the Avenger here since we have the capacity, but I technically still want to be doing the Erratic Assistance. They also do make the Sword Maiden a lot stronger. Because Artificer triggers whenever equipment is played on the floor. Or at least played on an ally. It's annoying that it doesn't work playing the Blood Suit on enemies, but that's okay. Okay, so we're gonna do that. Sadly, I have to use 2 of you down here to accomplish that instead of playing them up here, but it's how we get the Collector, and I want the Collector. Also, I don't really care about the Erratic Assistance in the long run. Anyways, our Sword Maiden is doing quite a bit of work. As she, a completely unupgraded Sword Maiden, is just sitting on 73 Valor already. Soon to be much more. Again, wrong order, should have done the Just Cause first. Ooh, who cares? We very definitely have the kill here. Especially since that also takes out his backliners, which is pretty nice. And then the Sword Maiden just kind of beats his ass. Okay, so I do like Twisted Assistant quite a lot, but we're not taking it because reasons. Specifically, it's something we'd love to save for Devour Grail. I mean, it's good anywhere, but, like, It Hungers Grail is really the one that wants Twisted Assistant above all else. Honestly, I think I'd probably just take Stupid Penitent's Blood Suit so we can have more equipment for the Sword Maiden. We're definitely saving Cleave, and I maybe want Selfless Sacrifice here, but I think we're going to skip. Giving the Stupid Penitent's Blood Suit extra attack power. So if I do ever play them on enemies, they will be stronger too. But that's okay. How many dupe spots are there anyways? God, there's only 2 right at the end. Why? Why do you do this to me? Because I would love to do other things than that. Well, we're going here, I guess. I could maybe use Electricity Chamber, but I don't think it's necessary when we already have Jack Strips, which fulfills a very similar role in my life. I'll admit, I was hoping for 5 times dupe. Okay. I think we're taking Savage Heart. Maybe. The problem is I don't have any upgrades on anything yet. It says would fulfill, like, fill up one of the slots. Also, I am going to be getting extra attack from from learning Limb. Alright, have a nice weekend, Fury. Thanks for being here as always, and once again, thanks for resubscribing. I could also just take the Titan skin. Obviously, also could just not take anything here. Would also be sort of okay with this, just because it gets me past the hurdle of surviving the beginning of this. Oh, I wait for my Valor to stack up. Could also just do this on you, which I don't hate. Maybe I want to do that. I don't know. I have problems. I also kind of just want to not do that altogether. Also, one thing I forgot to check. So there is a Merchant of Arms at the end. Good to know. I have a rough idea of what I'm going to do, and I think I probably don't need Savage Heart. I don't know that I need these. I think we're gonna skip, mostly just because the blight that it would give me could be problematic. Yeah, I guess maybe I'm taking the Swift Steel Dagger here. Alright, so be it. Sure. It's gonna look weird, but that's getting deployable. And that's just how it's gonna be. Okay, so. And then you get that, and then you get that, and then we don't play the Avenger there, we play it there, and that's as much as we can afford. Okay. Again, really wish that equipping to the enemy counted for the Artificer. Sadly does not. It's an annoying situation. Oh, and I forgot that I actually can't do that because you are shifting. I forgot that it's knockback Archeon, and that is actually bad for me. Well then, let's not do that. And let's move Grail up front so that she's actually going to hit the Valor armor. Yeah, I mean, we don't really need these. We'll just put that on so he starts taking some damage. I have them just so that they're a way to get the extra Valor on Sword Maiden. Since they are useful for that. Or at least vaguely useful. Yeah. I guess we're just gonna get rid of the Calcified Ember while I can. He kills that. Unfortunately, you are strong enough to kill off one of these guys. But, on the other hand... yeah, I guess we're just playing out another of you. And then we'll equip that there so we can start powering that one up. I still don't particularly like learning Limb Grail. It feels somewhat underwhelming. In that, like, it's fine, it's still a decent path, it's just that the other two Grails are generally just much better. and I wish that Lorming Limb had a better niche. Like, I really wish that it was positioned more as a way to support graft units. And it, like, sort of kind of is, but it doesn't do much to make the graft units into, like, real playable units still. Because, like, it sort of supports them in that if you are... sure, have some unstable, who cares? The graft ones you can potentially play twice in a battle, because you play out the graft unit, and it counts, and then you play out the equipment that you get from the graft unit dying, and that also gets the bonus. But even so what? Alright, we don't need Tome of the Lost Path here. Wings Radiance is fine, but I think we're going to skip it. Spike of the League is good, but I think we're going to skip it. Again, I may be being too conservative here. I will take another Sword Maiden. I'm going to take Ember for now. Okay, we definitely want to find a variety of things, namely dualism and multi-strike. Titanate's fine, Smidgestone's fine. Just in case Bogworms doesn't cooperate the way that we want it to. Alright, now the equipment gets +6 permanently. We're not taking these. Do I want Titanite? Kind of. It's mostly a matter of, will it be problematic for me gold-wise? Because we'd go down to 260, reroll. I will save the gold. Okay, fine. So how many more Merchants of Steel am I going to visit? Probably at least one more. Probably at least 2 more. We'll just take the multi-strike and put it on this one for now. Okay. We should be in pretty good shape. Alright, so far, all of the capacity is going onto the same spot, which is not bad. We're just going to do those, and you will give them even more Valor. I guess we play that, and we can't play out the Shield Stewards, but that's fine. Who needs them? We are going to do this in the right order. Okay, and then you're going to murder that. And the Jack Strips continues being very good for us, turns out. We're going to do that both, so... Oh, you weren't in front last turn because I played the other thing. Whoops, that was my mistake. I knew there was something obvious I was forgetting. Either way, fine, you're getting your Valor armor. And because we have Windblade, you do actually have a shift trigger, which we're continuing to proc, which is cute. Well, we're going to do those, even though the quick overall makes it harder for me to get you guys killed. I'm overall not wildly concerned about that. And thus the Sword Maidens keep stacking up. Like, Sword Maiden's a cool unit, but it definitely is way better with Lazarus than it is with Banished, despite being a Banished unit. It's still good in Banished, but it's just much better when you are also getting all the synergies that you can with with Lazarus. Alright, now 2 of them have, well, both of the sword mains have their Valor armor, which is nice. We're going to do this just so I can make sure that it dies before the end of the battle. Which, like, technically isn't that important, but we're doing it anyways. God, yeah, you have a lot of Valor to get armor from. Alright, well, I, unsurprisingly, am in perfectly decent shape here. As we then just start murdering these guys real good and hard. Ta-da! Ta-da! Okay, I don't really need Risky Operation. Horrify is a maybe. I might want to Horrify. We do technically have Quick, but I don't know that that's going to be enough. Like, I am probably going to have 3 Sword Maidens later on. I'm going to have 2 of them with Quick at least, I think. That might be strong enough to just chew through Savagery's, like, first waves. I'm mostly just worried about the sweep unit. I think we probably do want the Horrify, as much as I'd like to save that for other things. I think it's important that we have it. Yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. Cursed Twin Blade is good. I would probably take that if I were not doing what I'm doing. Benediction's very good. I think we're not going to take it. And Imprisoned Zephyr is fine. People make way too big a deal about Imprisoned Zephyr. And it certainly does not help us here. Yeah, here we go. So, don't think we need the Merchant of Arms, though it would be sort of nice to get like another Swift Steel Dagger or a Wind Blade. Obviously they wouldn't have the same like stats yet, but I wouldn't totally hate that. Well, either way, we're going here. So I could take Titanite again. Again, were we not doing Hat Trick, I would take one of these, but we're not going to. Do I want Titanite? Kind of. Kind of. Maybe. I think we're gonna skip, even though I probably should take it. I'm willing to do that. The question is just, do I take Smidge Stone for the other one? I think the answer is yes. The one problem with this, I mean, there's a lot of problems, but going into the Titan fight, Entropy makes it hard to only have 20 HP. Because even if I have a ton of Valor, I don't gain the Valor armor unless it survives. And I have skipped on a lot of the like damage shield sort of things to prevent that. Also, the equipment I picked out does not have an HP component to it, which also would have been nice. Alright, we're gonna not take that right now and just figure it out. Woken, Stygian, or Luna? I guess let's see Stygian, see if we can get, like, Unnamed Tome. Nope, don't care. Like, obviously Siren Song's still good, it's just not particularly important to our current needs. Heaven Seal should be fine. Like, I'm not terribly worried about that. And I am pretty happy to see capacity stacking up on bottom floor. For the moment, I still want to do top floor, but it is overall important to me for there to be capacity elsewhere as well. Okay. Well, the Horrify doesn't matter, so here we are. Alright. Well, I think I want you to get the armor. I mean, both of them would get a pretty hefty increase in armor. But, I figure we do it like that. One way or another, the Sword Maidens are looking pretty strong for us. Although they are making it a little difficult to get my Erratic Assistants to die. Also, I will say that the Erratic Assistants are sort of a way for me to get the Sword Maidens to get their Valor in the Titan fight. Because I can, like, block the hit with them, and then they die, and the Sword Maiden ends up in front position and can get the Valor on it. And once I've gotten the Valor once, that's all I need, basically. Because they'll get so much armor. I just need them to survive the first hit. Also, I wasn't paying attention. Could have gotten one of the Erratic Assistants killed there, which would have been helpful. But that's fine. I'll just kill them myself. I feel a little bad for the poor Avenger that we're basically not using. He's a cool unit. Not a unit that I, like, really actually use a ton, but a cool unit nonetheless. Okay, so you die, which means that we can do that and just keep powering up. Again, not that the, like, scissor hands really matter for us. They are not what we're basing our strategy around. We're really just using them to power up the Sword Maidens, but it still feels correct to buff them as much as we can. They technically make Grail a little stronger, though he is not the star of the show here. Well, Replicator Ray is cool. Not what we're doing right here, though. We definitely don't need Risky Operation, so no. Tome of the Lost Path is cool. Not what we're doing. Punk Shredder, also kind of cool, but we're definitely going to save that for... At the very least, we're going to save it for It Hunger's Grail. Because it's another way for him to get Trample and to convert his high attack power into a victory. But also, just should be unnecessary here. We might want to go Merchant of Magic here, so I can look for, like, Intrinsic Holdover Horrify or something like that. The explosive reactions can also do some good work for us. On the other hand, removals are decent. We have a lot of gold to spend on trinkets, but I think we're going for the Merchant of Magic. We don't have a lot of other times where we're going to see one. And Intrinsic Holdover, I'm pretty happy with. I don't think we need Blood-Soaked Arena. Yeah, I don't think that matters to us right now. Okay. I might want to dupe it, but I think I'd rather dupe... I mean, we'll see. We'll see what happens. I might also want to get rid of some things. I mean, I haven't drafted very many cards. I mostly just have my starter cards and a couple of new equipment. So, there's not a whole ton for me to get rid of, since I do want the Erratic Assistants. I guess I could get rid of the Shield Stewards as well. Okay, so I think we want to be on bottom floor. We might be fine, but it's just the amount of damage shields they can get would not be great. I mean, I guess we do have the Horrify, so I can at least daze Kale to prevent him from chiming in, but regardless. Wait, the game cooperated. What is it up to? Yeah, I mean, you know, sometimes it cooperates. Something clever about watching streams too much. Well, I appreciate you being here as often as you are, Goldpoke. I guess we're gonna play them out just so I have less cards. Yeah, I mean, we'll play that there, I guess. You are surviving, but it also doesn't really matter. Because you're just going to die to the jack strips immediately. Even with the damage shields, you're dead. It was a bad draw for us overall, but not too big a deal. Yep, I did this in the wrong order, but that's fine. Just not quite strong enough yet, but I should be able to make things work. Yeah, we'll just do that to guarantee your death. Okay, whatever. We'll do it like this. That's fine. Again, I'm not playing things in particularly the correct order, but it's fine. Who really cares? I mean, technically I should have left you up front so that you could get your Valor armor, but meh. Meh. Yeah, whatever. Become Horrified. I do want Kale to attack into this guy, so I didn't want to daze him for that reason. Again, there were other options, but who cares, really? Although I did kind of neglect to do this properly, but it's fine. He's not going to get to the Pyre Room because the fight is going to be over before then. Alright, because now there's this. Yes. I should have taken note of how much capacity I have on bottom floor. I think there's 3 open capacity right now. I do wish you could check at any time how much extra capacity was where, thanks to Bogworm. It is quite annoying. I mean, Double-Edged Bear is cute, but I am just not going to worry about it. Sanctuary is good. Brain Transfer is the thing. We're not going to worry about it, I think. We're going to take Ember, although Draw would be really helpful. We're going to go here. Multi-Strike is appealing. I think we're just going with more multi-strike here. I still do wish that I had like dualism, but the extra multi-strike is plenty good too. So be it. There we are. And I'm pretty sure we're gonna dupe you now. Yeah. Yeah. Whatever. We're gonna end up with a decently powerful equipment, but I don't know. Mostly, if we just had Living Armory Grail, it would be as strong or stronger for the most part. Which is part of why I find Learning Limb Grail just underwhelming. Anyways, I actually have enough Ember to play those out still. There's a reason we took so much Ember, even if it hasn't been truly important yet. I mean, it's helping me play out all these things, but we're definitely going to need even more Ember as time goes on. Okay, we're just going to do that so you guys can naturally kill him. And then we will kill our own dude. And then just do some shifting. Technically, only one of them has a shift trigger, so I don't actually need to be doing it quite like that, but hey. You're dead. I suppose I technically should have done this in a different order, but it barely matters. Well, I guess we'll play you out, even though it doesn't get the Living Armory bonus, but so be it. Who cares? Or the Learning Limb bonus. Learning Limb kind of feels a bit too slow. Yeah, there are like very specific ways that you can use it, and we are going to use that a little bit at the next ring, but it's mostly just fairly underwhelming in a way that I find frustrating. Again, I would like it a lot more if it was positioned as like a like Lord for graft units, which is to say something that is designed specifically to synergize with graft units, but it's not, sadly. So, you know, it is what it is. But that's what I want out of it, is something like that. So it like synergizes better with a particular part of the clan. And in particular, I think it would be fun for it to kind of turn the graft units into like real units that you would use like as your main like fighting force. But to do that, it would have to do more, like give HP to the graft units. But other people don't want that because then it's harder to kill the graft units. But fine, like that's true, but I don't think that's that big a deal. I think it's worth it for it to have a better niche in the clan. Oh, I did totally space out that I hadn't killed these guys. Well, my bad. could be cool if Grail propagated one or two of his buffs to graft units. Yeah, maybe. I can see something like that. Surgical Strike, we don't need. Especially since we have Jack Strips. If we didn't have Jack Strips, I'd consider it. Don't need it, though. We don't want Weaponized Prosthetic, and we're not taking Spike the Leap. Liquid Courage could be okay, but I think we're fine without it. And then we're going here. I mean, Sketches is fine. Hero of the Hybrid, I guess we take probably just because we have the cash for it. Anyways, what we're doing, Everlasting Light would have been good, by the way, but not at this point. We are merging these. And then we're gonna dupe it. Which is like, okay, it's decently strong. But again, comparatively, like if we just had like Living Armory Grail, we get about the same amount of attack or higher with a handful of equipment just played onto Grail himself. With better scaling across the fight, and it buffs all units on the floor rather than the single unit that we equip this to. Like, it's a lot of work to make something that's not that strong in comparison. Anyways, I maybe want to do Sketches so I can just, like, pull out some of the assistants. Yeah, they won't get, like, the Grail bonus, kind of, but who cares at this point? I will do that. I will do that. I don't think we need Crown of the Eternal. But maybe I want it. I may as well take this. Who cares? Wanderer's Talisman doesn't matter. I guess I will make this deployable as well. I don't heal at all because we don't take damage. And let's get rid of you. And you. How much deployment ember do I have? I have 8. So currently it's 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. Alright, so we're going to get rid of the Avenger because I can't play him out. I should have probably kept one of the Shield Stewards, but I got a little carried away. I guess I'll get rid of a Just Cause. It, like, barely matters to me to do that, but so be it. Alright, so we should probably be fine. Alright, so unfortunately I don't have a meaningful equipment to equip on the other one, but we can give them like any of the scissor hands and that'll be fine. Regardless, in deployment, before even turn 1, we have a lot of attack. We get even more thanks to that. And so here's the deal. We are exploding you, we're dazing you, and we're pulling you up front. Oh, I forgot that he takes damage from that because I hadn't given him other equipment yet. Well, glad that didn't kill him because I did not take that into account. Yeah. I did space out on playing the Just Cause correctly. It's fine, I'm not going to reset the turn. It's fine. Also, I didn't end up needing to daze the sweep unit. I wasn't sure if I was going to or not. But that's fine. Okay, so there we go. Then we pull you up front, so now you're going to get all that. We're going to hold the Horrify. We do want him to kill the Erratic Assistant, so we're not going to protect him. By putting Unstable on the Sweep Dude and pulling him up front, it meant that we could then kill just that one with one of the quick units, and then it would explode and kill the other Sweeper, is why we did that. Okay. Maybe do this differently. I kind of didn't pay attention to the fact that my dudes were going to die. Yeah, that is better mostly. It'll be better in a moment. Except now you're not getting the Valor armor, or whatever, that's fine. So be it. Yeah, I'll let you cycle. Okay. Alright, let's do this not this way. I mean, it's fine if one of them dies, and this is why it was important that I gave them all of their Valor armor when I... Well. Yeah. But it would have been important to have done that. Oh, there we go. We get the kill. Okay. Anyways, the point is, I messed up, but it's fine. We had a better way to do it. And also, I don't actually need the Horrify now. Yeah, you don't die this way. I don't know. I just wanted the Horrify in case we need it, but I don't think we actually need it. Well, I say that. I do wish I had just a little bit more capacity on bottom floor. Or that there were less sweep enemies, but we're working on it. Nope, you still die with that. I know I'm being picky here, but that's fine. I'm just trying to maximize things. Turns out, not worth it. I'm making things overly complicated. Yeah, I just wanted one of you to get the Valor armor. Even though it just doesn't really matter. Mostly we're in good shape. Yeah, so let's just pull you up so then they can murder with the quick, and everything's fine and wonderful in all the right ways. Ta-da! Anyways, he's dead. Our Sword Maidens go to town and just kind of murder everything. Turns out, Sword Maiden is, in fact, a pretty cool unit. Even if it's not, like, the best unit in its own clan. But, it's a cool unit. I like it. And while it is expensive for It's cool that it pulls out equipment during deployment, even if it doesn't discount them, which can be really expensive, which is why we took the double Ember. But it's still nice as an ability, even if you can't always utilize it well. I think we just want to be on bottom floor for reasons. Alright, Sword Maiden 1, 2, 3, and then our big chunk of blood suits. Okay. And then we get a whole bunch of dudes. Okay, so let's give that to you first. And then put that down there, and then we daze you, and then you're gonna get your Valor armor. And then it's all looking up pretty nicely. Unfortunately, I don't have anyone to absorb the corruption. Not a big deal. They'll have plenty of armor for the most part. Though since I don't have a way to block your attack this turn, I can't put this one up front to get the Valor armor. I don't think that matters for the most part, but it is notable nonetheless. Okay, well, we're just gonna keep dazing you. Obviously, we still take the damage from Dominion, but meh. Okay, so you end up front, and then we do that, so then you can also get your armor. It just seems good to spread around the armor while I can. Okay. And then... God, the Scissor Hand is actually stronger than the one that you're equipping. Which feels silly that that's the case. After all the work we put into trying to power up those equipment. But that's fine. It's because the Graft equipment gets played twice during combat. But not a big deal overall. Just horrify you. And I guess we'll give you the unstable, all the good that that does. Alright, we didn't quite kill Savagery, but he's most of the way there. Unfortunately, I have no way to, like, keep buffing up my dudes at this point. They gain a bit of Valor from the shifting, but other than that, I'm basically just as strong as I am, so... I don't have any way to keep scaling, so we just have to kind of wait while we chunk down Savagery and Entropy. But, we're largely there. And we have to wait for Dominion anyways, but yeah. We're basically there. Also, it would be going a lot faster if I weren't sapping my dudes, since I am deducting 52 attack on all of my dudes. But, again, doesn't matter. We have enough that we're killing them now. And we just need to wait for good old Dominion to die. May as well just daze you here. Because we win as soon as the attack happens, so we may as well just not lose 3 HP. And there we go! Exciting stuff. That was a pretty straightforward run. It was pretty fun. I like Grail a lot. He's one of my favorite Monster Train 2 champions. He can feel a little samey just because he has so much strength baked into his like basic kit. But he's a cool unit. There's a lot of like nuance and fun. And Lazarus is... I still dislike Lazarus's visual design, but mechanically they're a very fun clan. They're probably my second favorite mechanically of the Monster Train 2 clans. Maybe third, but probably second. Regardless, let us record what we used. Although I still have to clear out what we had from Soul Guard. Again, kind of the biggest problem for Grail, or at least one of the bigger problems for Grail, is just we need to spread out the equipment because Grail is so focused on equipment. At least his starter is graft units, and they work with any of his pathways. So even if we kind of whiff on seeing other equipment, we at least have something to get him rolling. It's just that, like, ideally we do It Devours next, and we get Twisted Assistant for the trample, or Cleave, or both, or something. And then with Living Armory, we just grab basically whatever other equipment shows up that we haven't already used. But we'll see. Regardless, this was Learning Limb. And we did that with Bogworm, because of course we use Bogworm. Also, I wish that he didn't have two paths that both start with L. Because it's not, like, they're not that close in name, but something about it just is still hard for me to keep straight sometimes. So we had Sword Maiden, and we got rid of the Avenger, and I'm pretty sure that was our only unit. For spells, we had Horrify and Explosive Reaction, and that was it for those. Whoops. There we go. We didn't have any rooms. And then for equipment, we had Penitent Blood Suit. Honestly, pretty happy to have used up here because it is a card I basically don't care about. And then it was Swift Steel, Dagger, and Windblade that were in the merged equipment. Alright, looks pretty decent. That said, that's where we're stopping for the night because it's late and I'm not starting another run. So, today was Thursday, so end of the week for me. So we'll be back next week on Monday, continuing on with Grail. We're certainly making it there, making a lot of progress. I mean, I'm still disappointed that we lost with Prince, especially so far in. And I am a little bit worried about Wilden 10. But for the most part, the remaining champions shouldn't be too bad. And we should make pretty decent progress on this. But still a ways to go, even if we are more than halfway done. Regardless, rambling aside, thanks for hanging out, everyone. I have a blast doing this with you. Hope you enjoy watching the stream. Have a nice weekend, and I'll see you back on Monday.